What's up, party animals? My name is Kezi, and the title's a little bit clickbait, but it's also kind of not. So, I don't know if I ever talked about it a whole lot, but locally in my community, there's actually been these weekly parties. And they've been amazing, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want to say that the haters are right and that it's like truly a tragedy and, you know, it's some horrible thing. However, I'm noticing that it is a little bit distorted. You know, you see a lot of furries who are like, well, the fandom's super safe for work. We're not all about the lewd stuff. We're not super into all the not safe for work stuff. Yes. So a lot of the fandom really isn't not safe for work. You can do stuff like go to conventions, and it's generally a safe for work experience on the main floor. There are some 18 plus areas, but it's not like that's the whole thing. And, you know, you can never deny that that's what happens. You know, if you ever walk into the wrong hotel room, you might see something you wish you didn't. And that's kind of where I'm finding myself. I'm going to these local parties, and it's literally just down the road. And I go every week. And there's something that I'm finding that I'm really struggling with, and that is the not safe for work aspect. So the host, amazing person, and his house is very large, so he splits it up into kind of two halves. And then so there's the master bedroom, which is like half the house. There's like a bedroom, bathroom, and then a shower, and then the rest of the house with like the kitchen and stuff. Past the master bedroom door, that's where stuff gets freaky. That's where everybody goes and they get their kink on, and, you know, that's fine. I'm supportive of that. If you're gonna be a furry, especially in the modern world, don't cave to prudes. I highly recommend not being like, well, I hate that. I hate the not safe for work stuff, and thinking that that's gonna make you more popular or more accepted in society. It's not. Humans are freaks. And you're not going to get any brownie points from haters by acting like you're better than all of humanity for what it's worth. So, you know, I definitely support having that room existing, but there was one time I did a DJ set recently. And the host likes to have me DJ. I mean, I've got like a pretty decent setup, so it's definitely fun to have. And while I do enjoy the sets, this last one kind of sucked. So what ended up happening was I was performing my set to nobody. There was nobody in the living room. And I was like, well, crap, where is everybody? I thought this was supposed to be a party. They're all in the back room. They're all being horny. And then there's the other group that might be outside smoking pot. And it's just kind of hard to balance that. You know, I definitely have had experiences with pot and sex in my life. I'm an adult. I do adult things. However, it's not, you know, my MO. It's not the thing I want to do every single week is get turned and get horny. You know, a lot of people, and in the main room, they'll get like super cuddly. And in the same way that I'm not going to go fool around with all those people in the party in the other back room, you know, I kind of feel like cuddling is a more personal thing, and I'd like to like someone before I cuddle them. That tends to happen too. You know, everyone gets super cuddly in the main room, you know, watching a movie or playing video games or whatever. And I find myself always uncomfortable. Not with what's happening. I don't care that people are fooling around. I don't care that people are cuddling. I don't even care that people are smoking weed. I just know that those activities are not what I want to do. And I don't know what I want to do. You know, that's another problem is I go to these events because, you know, therapy and stuff like that is like, oh, well, you're seeing friends, you're hanging out with people, you're being social. That should be really good and healthy. Well, it reached a breaking point. And a week ago, I had I tend to drink at the parties, which isn't, again, super recommended. It's not what I like to do. I don't drink at home anymore. I tend not to drink when I'm out and about. But at these parties, I kind of been like, well, I can drink because, that's kind of the theme. Everyone brings a bit of alcohol. I can have a few drinks. But I keep finding myself, either I don't drink and I'm really shy and quiet and I don't talk to anybody, or I do drink and I talk to some people. And I'd rather talk to some than none, obviously. But it reached a point where I realized that I'm not here with everyone else. Like, I'm physically there, but the headspace that I'm in is just way off the vibe of the house. And if anything, I was just bringing everybody down. And, looking inward, like I said, I'm not super, huffy. I'm not going to go to the bedroom and bang every bottom who wants it. I'm not going to go into the main room and snuggle with, the whole group in a big fur pile or whatever. And I'm not going to go, get really high with a bunch of people. I mean, especially because smoking weed gives me really bad anxiety. So, like, what do I do? Why am I there? And, someone said something that, like, hurt my feelings, and I'm just like, and I certainly don't think it was, like, on purpose, but it made me, like, kind of snap. I was like, oh my God, I just don't belong here. This is not my scene. This is not where I want to be. This is not what I want to do. This is not any part of me at this point. Sure, yes, like I said, I do enjoy fooling around. I do enjoy snuggling. I do enjoy, the occasional joint. But I don't enjoy the vibe of where that's kind of the reason you're there. When I go to a furry con, again, same idea. I'm going down to the con floor. I'm meeting new people. I'm meeting people who have seen the stuff I make. I'm meeting people who have fursuits and want to talk fursuiting. I'm meeting people who have any kind of thing to talk about. It's a very social experience where I'm talking to people. But at these local parties, it's the same people every time. And so there's very rarely a brand new topic, that I feel is worth discussing. This kind of ties back to the, am I boring video, where I don't know. At these local parties, it's been kind of hitting hard that, like, I can't really talk to anybody. I want to talk to them. I want to have a nice, deep conversation. But given my personal circumstances, along with, the vibe of the environment, it's really hard to find, people to connect with. There was one person that I really liked to see who was the other DJ. And so we would talk shop and DJ stuff all the time. But even that kind of gets circular. Yeah, we both know how to DJ. That's so cool. Because I'm not someone who likes to talk all the time about everything. I mean, I do. I make YouTube videos. I mean, look at what I'm doing now. But I have a desire to do things. I want to go out. I want to see something new. I want to go experience something that's not something I can experience every day. And I mean, that was what was really cool about the weekly parties was, that it felt like a mini fur con down the street every week. And at a certain point, the host ended up deciding, let's do a horny themed party. It was called Bottomless, where you just wore your underwear around. This is a big thing at furry cons as well. You'll go to the room parties that are underwear parties, where it's not completely nude, but it's like, yeah, bring your cutest lingerie or undies and whatever, and wear that and be all flirty. And that's fine. But that's not a party I would go to. And so when the house host made that party happen, the whole vibe changed. The entire vibe of the house went from, oh yeah, let's talk, let's hang out, let's be friends, let's chit chat and do fun things, to, I want to fuck. And it's bad. And it's not, okay, bad is a strong word, but it wound up being bad for me. Because if I want to fool around, I want to find someone special to do it with. If I want to cuddle, it's got to be someone special to do it with. And yeah, I decided last week that was going to be it. I did a lot of stupid things while really, really intoxicated. And after that, I'm just like, why am I here? Why am I doing this to myself when I don't even like it? And so I just told the host, yeah, I'm over it. As much as I appreciate what you're doing for the community, it's gone beyond my comfort levels. You know, I'm not bringing anything or taking anything from the events. I'm just there because I should. And I think that's something to really consider within the fandom, is if that's why I titled the video, The Haters Are Right. Because yeah, you can find yourself in a situation like I did. You know, I don't know a ton of people who do, but I definitely see the trends of just like, you know, this hypersexuality that evolves from certain furry communities. And, you know, I'm certainly not the only person who has ever experienced a thing where the vibe shifts from innocent friend making to not safe for work interactions. And, you know, is this, what can I do about this? Well, I know what I do already. I love music. That's my deepest passion, is being able to perform on stage and share music with as many people as I possibly can. You know, I want the fandom to be a more musical place and not necessarily a more sexual one. And again, not to say that like it shouldn't be, you know, sexual, or because I mean, you know, you're denying a lot of people their existence. However, you know, I think that there needs to be more of these safe for work spaces, or at least there needs to be more of these spaces where you're meeting people and not their holes. And I definitely try to support that. You know, I love music. I love events like Plush and Slabtown Scamper, where, you know, the focus is the event in and of itself and not necessarily any bedroom interactions. There's kind of a major theme around the whole thing. And it makes for a much better experience for everyone involved. And then, you know, if you do want to go hook up with someone, well, then you can do that. You can meet someone in these more safe for work spaces and then decide, okay, do I want to take this further? Do I want to be more intimate? Do I want to be that kind of person with this person I met? Instead of, well, everyone's doing it, I guess I'll feel left out if I don't. And that's been the biggest thing, is like, okay, sure, I bet if I put in the effort, I could go cuddle, I could go cuddle, I could go be in the bedroom fooling around with everybody. You know, it's not like that I'm being denied because I want to. You know, it's that I don't want to, and yet I still feel left out. And don't push yourself to be in a place where you're starting to feel uncomfortable. Just because, you know, oh, well, friendship's good for you. Bad is bad for you. If you're not having a good time, if you are uncomfortable, you need to not push yourself to be in that environment more than absolutely necessary. You know, if you're just be uncomfortable in general, but you do truly want to try a new thing, well then yeah, you know, you can push past the anxiety. But when it comes to a point of you're pushing yourself to be in an environment you don't enjoy because, well, it's supposed to help me feel better, don't. And that's what I was doing for way too long, and it ended up breaking in a really bad way, and I ended up making a fool of myself. So that's what I want to talk about today. I appreciate y'all for watching. I hope that any of this made sense. And until next time, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. I actually remember to do this. Haha, look at me. Go subscribe to my Patreon. It's my job right now. I might be doing like open decks in the city, and hopefully I can wear my fursuit, but we'll see. I got stuff to do today in downtown, so I will do that, and I hope that you like it. Bye.